So, with their first round pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Giants selected cornerback Deonte Banks out of Maryland. What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Jay Dimes. We are back at it with another New York Giants video, back at it with another New York Giants banger. And before we do get into this one, if you haven't done so yet, go leave a like, comment, and definitely hit that subscribe button because we will continue to have, Giants content during the draft. We're going to have our second and third round, reactions tonight. And we're going to also be, grading the whole draft when it's all said and done. So you're going to be a part of that. Hit the subscribe button and join the channel. But in this video, I wanted to go into, the pick. I want to grade it. I want to grade the Deonte Banks pick. I want to go, and talk about the trade and my problem I have with some fans about that. I also wanted to go into some of the other selections that other teams made. I want to talk about that. And I also want to talk about possible players, positions that the Giants could go with in day 2 of the draft tonight in round 2 and round 3. So I'm going to start it off. Deonte Banks, the Giants selected him with the 24th overall pick in a trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They traded up one pick, giving up, their 25th overall pick and a pick swap, a 5th and a 7th round pick in this year's draft. And automatically, some Giants fans were kind of, some of them were kind of like, they weren't feeling it. And I can feel, why a little bit. I think it's, 4 of the Giants, I guess you say 4 wide receivers that Giants fans would have probably liked, at 25, went right ahead of them. Quentin Johnson going to the Chargers. Jackson Smith-Njigba going to 20 to the Seahawks. You had Zay Flowers go to the Ravens. And you had the Vikings take Jordan Addison. So I understand, immediate reaction, fans are always reactionary. But it's people saying that the Giants shouldn't have made that trade, and they don't like the pick. First of all, Deonte Banks, in my opinion, when we look back at it, Joey Porter Jr. still, he fell to the second round. I'm expecting him to get taken early in the second, but he fell to the second round. The Giants looked at Deonte Banks and said, this guy fits our scheme to a T, which he does. And you look at his upside, going to be 23, next year, already 22 years old, so the age is good. The Giants used a late first round pick on him, and I can't be mad at it. Deonte Banks was, in my opinion, based on what we've seen, was projected as a mid-round pick. You get him at pick 24, that's good value right there. He fits our scheme, good athlete. Look at the RAS score. He had a 9.99, something insane. Great combine numbers. That's a great pick by the New York Giants. Deonte Banks, was coming in, to be that CB2 role. And then later down the line, depending on what the Giants do with the Dory Jackson, he's going to fill in that CB1 role. I love this pick. And I'm going to give it the grade automatically an A. The Giants are starting off their 2023 NFL Draft with a banger pick in Deonte Banks with the 24th overall selection. I love the pick. I love the player. And, though I was advocating for a wide receiver, no wide receiver was on the board. No wide receivers on the board. And I told people that, Joe Shane said himself that they're fine at pick 25. They're comfortable that they're going to be able to get a player that they like at pick 25. They had to trade up one spot, give away a 5th and a 7th round pick that no one should be worrying about. No Giants fan should be critiquing Joe Shane and what the Giants did last night because of a 5th and a 7th round pick. The Giants have 2 other 7th round picks, and they have another 5th round pick. We shouldn't be worrying about that at all. So that's an A selection. That's an A trade for, I don't know if it's A trade. I don't know about the trade, but I'm not going to grade the trade. It doesn't really matter. It's a 5th and a 7th round pick. That is an A selection overall. An A, day 1 for the New York Giants in the 2023 NFL Draft with the Deonte Banks selection. He fits the scheme. He's coming in to be, filling a position that we really do need at CB, at dime back, at cornerback, right? I love the pick for the Giants. I love Deonte Banks as a player, and I can't wait to get more and more into him. After the draft, when we really start breaking everything down. So let's talk about some other selections that, was kind of crazy on draft. Now, we got to talk about the Eagles. Though it hurts me to say this, the Eagles had an A++ draft last night. They're starting their draft on a high right now. They make the trade up with the Chicago Bears, and they grab Jalen Carter at pick 9, and then they get Nolan Smith, I think, at pick 30. So, yes, the Eagles are starting their draft off right, and that's what's going to kind of lead us into day 2 and our day 2 options. It's important, and I really do expect the Giants to look at interior offensive line and look at wide receiver tonight. I really, really do. The reports are saying it. Beat reporters of the Giants are saying it. They're tweeting it out, and I agree. And, I have been a guy that was advocating for the Giants to go get a wide receiver. And I do think there are wide receivers that we could look at in round 2 and round 3. But for round 2, specifically, I'm looking at interior offensive line. Joe Schoen came out and said that he's fine, with the center position. He's not really worried about it. I already thought that was a lie. I already thought that was cap. I said that. With Jalen Carter being an Eagle right now, I think if he was comfortable then, he ain't comfortable now. You can't be. You just can't. After they went out and did that. Mozzie Smith, run-stopping defensive tackle from Michigan. He becomes a Cowboy. The Cowboys are beefing up their defensive line. That is something that the Giants got to look at and say, hey, maybe we need to go take a center over a wide receiver in round 2. And I know some Giants fans might not want to hear that because, yes, we do need a wide receiver. The Giants, still don't have that alpha number 1. And I was telling people that we probably aren't going to find that alpha number 1 in this draft class. It's not the draft class for that. The draft class showed that. It's not. The first wide receiver went off the board at pick 20. All right, that says, that speaks for itself right there. I'm looking at interior offensive line. I'm looking at it, and there's prospects there. John Michael Schmidt still on the board. Osiris Torrance, surprisingly. Well, not surprisingly, because I've seen some mocks where he didn't go in the first, but kind of, he's still one of those round 1 guys that we thought was going to go in round 1 that's on the board still. You got Luke Weipler. Cody Mock is a guy that, plays tackle but can transition to guard. Steve Avila out of TCU. Some of these guys aren't going to be there. Not all these guys are going to be there. I think Luke Weipler might be. Joe Tippmann possibly sitting out of Wisconsin. But I'm looking at a tier offensive line at pick 57. I'm looking at that, and I think this is the round where the Giants trade up. What I want is something that I already spoke on a couple of videos ago, and that's John Michael Schmitz. The Giants, if John Michael Schmitz starts to fall a little bit, if he makes it past the Jets, who already kind of addressed, they didn't even address offensive line yet because it was a tackle kind of run ahead of them. Darnell Wright becomes a Steeler after they trade up. You got the Cardinals taking Paris Johnson. So if they don't go center and they go tackle, because DeJuan Jones, tackle out of Ohio State, still on the board, and he starts falling, John Michael Schmitz, I want the Giants trade up for him, man. I really, really do. And if they don't, that's fine. You can stay at pick 57 because there's still some great players in this, on the board. So I wouldn't be pissed if, they didn't and he goes somewhere else. But if you want to get a day 1 starter, you want a guy that you can plug in, you want a guy that has experience at center, you want a guy that, has more experience at center than any other guy on the roster right now, John Michael Schmitz is that guy. He's that day 1 starter, that plug-and-play guy, and I would not be mad, and that is what I want, is if the Giants made a trade up in the second round for him. That's what I want. Joe Schoen said himself that, yeah, we traded up in the first. We, took some capital out of, the 5th and 7th round in the first round, but we still think we have the capital to move up if we have to in the 2nd and 3rd round. So let's see if that comes to fruition. And let's see what the Giants do in the 2nd and 3rd round tonight. I'm going to have my reaction out for both picks. And I just can't wait, man. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and definitely hit the subscribe button. I love the Deonte Banks pick. I'm happy the Giants are starting off their draft with a banger pick, an A pick in my opinion, with Deonte Banks with the 24th overall selection after a trade up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So again, if you enjoyed this, leave a like, comment, hit the subscribe button. And until then, later on tonight, it's been your boy Jay Downs, and we are out. Go Giants. Thanks for watching, and peace.